What a great topic. We've never really discussed this, and it's really important. Diabetic cardiomyopathy is where the heart isn't functioning. That's cardiomyopathy. So, cardio is heart, myo is muscle, apathy means there's something wrong. So, there's something wrong with the heart muscle. That's literally what the word means. And what happens when you have type 2 diabetes? This is really important because this is one of the reasons we discuss this so much. And the reasons we're talking about this is it's not a sugar problem. Think about it. If you have a heart muscle that is lacking in energy, what do you want to give it? Energy. So what do you do? How do you give it energy? What? Give it sugar, right? That glucose. That's what it runs on, right? So that would make perfect sense. So if you have type 2 diabetes, your blood sugar is always high. There's a lot of sugar around. So why would the heart be lacking in energy? Doesn't make any sense until you understand one thing, and that is that 60% of the energy for your heart comes from fat. And when you have insulin resistance, you can't burn fat. So your heart energy drops by 60% just because you have insulin resistance. That's why we don't talk about blood sugar. Blood sugar is not your problem. Insulin resistance is your problem. And that's the thing about cardiomyopathy in diabetes. Now, it's called diabetic cardiomyopathy because it has nothing else. But if you have type 2 diabetes, it contributes to all the other problems with cardiomyopathy. So if you happen to have a virus gets into your heart, it's going to be more of a problem because you have diabetes. If you're toxic on lead or mercury or something, you're going to drop your energy, and it's going to be worse because you have diabetes. And if you have constricted blood vessels because you have atherosclerosis and hardening of the arteries, it's going to be worse because of your diabetes. So no matter what else you have, you still have diabetic cardiomyopathy because the amount of energy of 60% of your energy comes from fat and 40% from glucose. So you get insulin resistance, you take away, you can't use fat. Now all you have is that. So you've dropped the amount of energy that your heart can have. That's why it's so important to get the insulin resistance down or to improve insulin sensitivity, cardiomyopathy. And that is the heart doesn't relax very well because it takes energy to relax a muscle. A heart muscle cell is a mousetrap. You have to set the mousetrap. So you set the mousetrap, and then all you have to do is just touch it and bam, it goes, right? That's what a heart muscle cell does. When the electrical impulse comes by, it resets and then waits, and then the impulse comes by, electrical impulse just taps it and it goes bam, and then it has to reset again. And it takes longer to reset, and the if it takes longer to reset and the impulse comes by, it's not set yet. It's not going. It's not ready to go. And then as soon as another one neighbor goes, then it goes, and then another one goes, and another one goes, and that's called atrial fibrillation. So and if it's taking longer to reset, then it may not work completely. So it might work partially. So people get cardiomyopathy. So if you do an ejection fraction, it's called, and that's how much blood is being pumped each time your heart works. So your heart pumps, and it normally pumps about 65% of the blood out. And if you have cardiomyopathy, it's only pumping maybe 50%. 50% is actually considered normal. 45%, 40%, 30%. I've had somebody 20%. So every time his heart beats, it only goes like this. Just a little bit of the blood pumps out. It's not pumping the whole thing out. It's only pumping a little bit of it. So it has to pump more times to get the blood circulating because those muscle cells can't relax completely. Cardiomyopathy from diabetes is reversible. That's the other thing about it. So other types of cardiomyopathy, so often from viruses, viruses damage the cells, they kill the cells, and so you don't have those cells anymore. So your heart just doesn't work as well anymore. And that's Not reversible in the sense of reversible, but you can retrain the heart and get that heart to be functional again. But with diabetic cardiomyopathy, if you go on the program and become insulin sensitive, drop your insulin levels down so that you can burn fat for energy, then you're adding a lot more energy into the heart cells, and all of a sudden they're functioning fully again and everything's working. So that's reversible. That's a good thing.